great to be back. Today I want to talk about beauty because beauty is in our society so important. Actually, we have a whole beauty industry. So why do we have that? So I guess, it is important for people to be beautiful. And we put a lot of effort into looking good. So obviously there's a certain idea that is made up by the beauty industry, how one should look like. And then there's a fashion industry, and it's all built upon an idealized version of a human being. And obviously, if we all would be happy with ourselves and would accept who we are, I don't know how much of this stuff would sell. So ultimately, there's a whole industry that makes money on unhappy people. We buy stuff to, look good. Since I come out of that field, I know how it works. So you find really good-looking people that you photograph in a really good way. Then you retouch and liquefy and make them even slimmer as they already are in a very extensive way. And then you print it on the billboard and everybody wants to be like them because they want to be wanted as well. That's basically what it is. When I was working in this advertising agency in New York, one of the art directors told me, he said, Carson, you just want to be, desired. Sexually desired. That's what you give people. Like, you show them people that they would want to be with, or that they want to be because then a lot of people would want to be with them, and then they buy what you want them to buy. So the downside of the outer beauty, because all these areas are focused on the outer beauty, on this, what can you do with this? How can you work with it? How can you make this better? Is that it has a time restraint. I mean, eventually we all get old, and in our minds, a lot of the beauty lies in youth. What is kind of funny because there could be also another idea about it, but at the moment we see beauty in youth. So we invest a lot of time and energy into something that we know will eventually fail us because it just leaves, it just goes away. And that reminds me again of the experience that I had 2019 with my mom when she had cancer, and she eventually died also. But my mother was very beauty conscious her entire life, so she spent like 2 hours in the morning in the bathroom, or maybe an hour and a half on good days. But her hair was perfect, her makeup was perfect. She was perfect when she walked out of this bathroom. But there was always so much pressure with that, I mean, she always had to look a certain way because she thought that people would expect her to look that way, and also to keep up that image that she couldn't keep up anymore because she was aging as well. And I remember the day after she died, I went to see her, and I don't know if I mentioned it in this vlog already, but to me, my mom never looked better than that day. Because, she was relaxed. She radiated something. Even though, obviously she had cancer, so she had lost a lot of weight. Her hair was gone, there was no makeup, and she looked just beautiful. So, what I want to say with that is there's definitely an outer beauty, but then there's also an inner beauty. There's also something that makes us beautiful from the inside out. And since we have a lot of pressure on women in that sense, on men too, but I mean, the beauty industry is definitely more focused on women than on men. A shout goes out to my friend Betsy Prioleau. So Betsy wrote this. Hi, Betsy. I know she's watching this vlog once in a while. Betsy wrote a book a couple of years ago that was really interesting, called The Seductress, and it was about sexually very powerful women. Basically about women that a lot of men wanted to be with or were madly in love with, even though they were not together anymore. And when I talked to her about the book, she told me that these women, you couldn't really tell what they had. So you definitely couldn't define it by looks. You couldn't define it by them being rich or from good families. But they had some sort of energy that it would radiate. And that's what, yeah, apparently drove some man crazy. So what I try to say with that is there's an outer beauty that we can put a lot of effort in, but eventually it will fail us because we just get older and it will just, go. Or we focus on connecting to ourselves. We focus to have a deep connection with ourselves. And that's when this inner beauty starts to radiate. And when you have that connection, nobody can take this away from you. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how wrinkly you are. It is always going to be there. And obviously you don't hear this on television because, I mean, how do you sell stuff? I mean, we have to sell stuff. So you don't sell anything to somebody who thinks, oh, well, I just take care of my inner beauty, Why bother about the outer beauty so much? Because eventually this will go. But yeah, I focus on the inner beauty and I don't have to buy anything for that. So the whole industry is based on making us feel bad about how we look to buy a product to look better. And that sums it up pretty much. So that's why it's so important to connect to your inner beauty. That's why it's important to connect to yourself. That's why it's so important to listen to this vlog, because the moment you connect to yourself, the moment you drill into this inner beauty, it's a fountain, that will always be there. You will always radiate this. I don't think this goes away after you found it, ever, until, obviously everything ends, until you leave this body. But why not focus on that? Why focus on something that will fail us sooner or later? And I'm not saying don't care about how you look. I mean, but the main effort could be used to focus on the inner work and then also some effort on the outer work. But not all that effort on the outer work and a very, very little effort on the inner work. And then the outer leaves us and the inner is not developed. Food for thought. Thank you so much. I see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.